this video, I want to show you a step-by-step process that I use to get painting leads for one painting contractor in Colorado. I'm going to walk you through the whole process and I'm going to give you some practical tips that you can apply in your business. So before we get into all these details, I'm going to show you exactly what kind of results this client is getting right now. So here's how many calls he receives usually from his Google Business listing per month. And also here's the data from the average of 6 months during the peak season. Also, here are some of the leads that this painting contractor is getting. So I'm going to post a couple of screenshots here, here. I'm going to be moving all around so that we can add all of these. But in general, you can pause if you want to see them in detail. I had to blur some sensitive information, of course. But in general, the leads that he is getting are really high in quality. So without further ado, let's get into it. The way we are going to get painting leads is by showing up when people search for painting services on Google. And this doesn't work only for painting services. This also works for a whole bunch of different services like remodeling, landscaping, tree services. It's one of the best ways to get leads for your company, and it's also one of the best methods that people use to get leads for their companies. The reason why these leads are really awesome is because when people go to Google and when they type in the service that they need, those people already know what they want to do. They're literally looking for a contractor. If somebody goes to Google and they type in painting contractor near me or painting contractor in my city or something similar, they are looking for a contractor. So by showing up when people search for your services, you can put your business in front of people that are actively looking to hire you. So it's a really good way to get a lot of high quality leads as well. So what do we need in order to show up on Google and people search for our services? One of the best ways we can show up when people search for painting services is by having a Google Business listing. And your company might even have a Google Business listing right now. But I'm going to give you some additional tips on what you can do in order to get better results from your Google Business listing. Because everybody has a listing. But unfortunately, very few people are getting leads because very few people do a good job when it comes to optimizing their Google Business listing. When somebody goes to Google and when they search for painting services, for example, Google wants to make sure that the companies they show are companies that actually provide painting services. So if you don't properly explain to Google and other search engines like Bing, DuckDuckGo, and similar search engines, if you don't properly explain to these search engines what kind of services you provide, then of course they are not going to show you higher on Google and people search for services. And this is pretty much what SEO is, and you probably heard about that term, but it's basically about showing up when people search for your services. And like I said, it's a really good way to get a lot of high quality leads. Also, if you want me to take a look at your company, then head over to logicalmarketer.net website. I'll leave a link in the description, of course. Send me more information about your business. I'll be happy to take a look at it and give you some personal advice on what you can do to get more jobs yourself. Even if you don't want to work with me, I'll be happy to give you some advice for free. So one of the best practical tips that I can give you when it comes to optimizing your Google Business listing, and of course it's impossible to do this fully, but there are some things that you can do yourself, and that's to add as much information as you can to your Google Business listing. So make sure you add the right categories, make sure you add all of the services you provide, and you can also add a detailed description for these services. Try to add a nice detailed business description as well. Make sure to link to your website and try to use a consistent phone number across social media, website, and any other online profiles that you might have. Unfortunately, nowadays, this isn't enough because you also need to have a website that properly explains these things as well. And this painting contractor had a website, but it wasn't built properly. This is also a common problem that we see nowadays, is that a lot of people build their websites, they pay even thousands of dollars for their new website, but unfortunately, it's not built by a person who understands how search engines work. So they build a website, they might look beautiful, but nobody will be able to find it through Google. And unfortunately, nowadays, this is a common problem that we see, and it's the fact that a lot of people will hire designers, they will pay them thousands of dollars for a website, but unfortunately, no one will be able to find it through Google because they don't really understand how search engines work. Also, a lot of times websites will be built using a bad software. There are two main things that me and my team personally try to take care of when it comes to building a new website. And that's to make sure that website actually looks awesome so that people want to work with us, and also to make sure that website can be found by people when they search for our services. Because one doesn't go without the other. You might show up at the top, but when people do their research to see which company they should work with, if they go to your website and it's not built for users, they're just going to leave. But if your website looks awesome and presents all the important information about your company, but nobody can find you, then of course, you're not going to get any leads. So both parts need to be properly completed in order to get leads. When it comes to building a website for users, you need to make sure that you include all important information that users are actually looking for. So if somebody's looking to complete a specific project and they go to your website, you need to make sure that that information is presented on your website. Hopefully on your homepage as well, because very few people will actually go to these additional service pages. Majority of people will only stay on your homepage. That's the main page of your website. So you need to make sure that all the important information on your website is included on your homepage. And then of course, you should also add more detailed information on your service pages so that Google can pull more information about your services, which will of course help you rank higher on Google when people search for your services. Good thing about this method is that you don't need to show up first, because people are not just going to call the first company that they see. They're going to go through these companies, like 5 to 7 different companies that they see on Google, like that rank really high. But then they will go to their websites to find out more information about these companies before they decide which company they should call. So they are going to go to your website, and you need to make sure that all the important information that they are looking for is presented, but also you need to make sure that you present your previous project pictures, some information about yourself. When it comes to getting more paying leads and similar types of leads, you need to make sure that you properly present your previous projects on your website. Because when people go through these different websites, that's one of the main things that they're actually looking for. But also you should include some information about you, your company, maybe add a picture of yourself or your crew as well, because those kind of things build trust. And when it comes to showing up on Google when people search for services, even though this is really, really complicated and there's 1,000 different factors that Google looks at, the best practical tip that I can give you is to try to include more information about your services. That's the best practical tip that I can give you. And of course, it's not going to work for everybody. It's going to work mostly for people that are in less competitive areas. But if you are in a more competitive area, then you definitely need to hire somebody to do SEO for you so that you can actually get some great results. Even though when it comes to optimizing your website so that your company can show up on Google when people search for your services, there's 1,000 of different factors that Google looks at. Adding more content about the services you provide is one of the best things that you can do as a business owner to get some jobs throughout the year. But if you're looking to get 5, 6 to 10, 20 leads per month, then you definitely need to hire an SEO company to do the job for you. So if you need help or you're looking to work with somebody who can help you, then definitely go to the link in the description, fill out the form, send me information about your company. I'll be happy to take a look at it. So these are pretty much the two main components that we used to get paying leads for this contractor in Colorado. We optimized his Google business listing, and we built a new website so that Google can better understand what kind of services he provides. And of course, so that his website can convert more website visitors into actual leads. I'm going to be creating a whole lot more videos about the practical tips that you can apply yourself as a business owner. So if you're looking to see more of those kind of videos, then definitely subscribe to this channel. Or you can also go to my YouTube channel. You can see the previous videos that I did where I show more practical info. But here, I just want to provide some general information about how you can get more paying leads. And of course, I couldn't go way too deep into details. If you found this video helpful, then definitely leave a like, because that helps other people find it as well. And I'll see you next time.